Let's talk about being a light in the midst of darkness today.
It's time for Sunrise with Jesus. Be sure to follow this podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, Facebook, and YouTube. And now, be blessed by today's ride.
Good morning! Welcome to Sunrise with Jesus. Today is January 5th, 2018. 5 days gone into the year, and it's been wonderful so far.
Yep.
With me again is Isabel, my sister. Hi. Isabel, we didn't get to do this last time you were here. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you.
Oh, well, my name is Isabel Chen.
You got that?
And I love to dance. I love to sing. I love to smile. I go to school. I'm a second-year student at UTech, University of Technology, Jamaica. Whoop, whoop. And I love the Lord.
Yes, I can attest to that. She really does. What do you study at school?
Communication, arts, and technology. That's media stuff.
Okay. So like camera stuff, audio stuff, journalism.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so we might see a blog coming from Isabel sometime soon. Who knows? Okay. So today is gonna be a discussion about today's sunrise. Today's sunrise is called Light Shine Bright. Light Shine Bright. It reminds us of a song by Holland. We'll probably put the link in this video. But Light Shine Bright, and it's an encouragement to us all. I really encourage you all to go ahead and read the sunrise. I know I keep saying this, but these sunrises, the written ones, I know the videos are great, but the written ones really give you something to really reflect on and take your time and see how these things apply to your own lives. In this sunrise, Shanice Sandford, I love how she writes. Shanice gives us a visual of how we are in this world. And it's a visual that Jesus also gave us. He spoke about the parable of a candle. And he said that if you have a candle, do you light it and put it under a bushel? Or do you put it on a candlestick for it to light everything? And the Bible also talks about light and darkness, and the effects of light versus darkness. He says that the light cannot be overcome by darkness, but whenever light comes, it really challenges the darkness, and the darkness has to flee. So Shanice has really brought this even clearer to us in this sunrise, and she's encouraging us in this, that we are candles. The Lord calls us lights. We are the lights of the world, just like Jesus was the light of the world. And it's an encouragement to us not to be overwhelmed with the darkness. Because if you look at a candle, a literal candle, and it's a dark room, it's a hurricane or the light got cut off or whatever, and you light a candle, you always see it never fails. The candle and the light always illuminates everything that it hits. And the darkness never extinguishes the candle, no matter how dark it is. It could be dark enough for you not to see a hand in front of your face. But the darkness never consumes the light. And she's saying that to us, we should never be overwhelmed by the darkness in this world either. You know, there's so much highlighted on the news, social media, conversations. Everything is talking about the darkness of this world, the killings, the crime, the violence, the corruption. So much darkness and so much bad is being talked about in this world. But our encouragement is that we are lights. That's all Jesus had to tell us, that we are lights. And it takes us to really look into that and say, okay, what did you mean, Lord? And the light is never overwhelmed by darkness. And the darkness, the Bible says that the darkness don't even understand the light. It comprehended it not. And he also said that the condemnation or the bad part of this whole situation is that the darkness and the light exist, and man has chosen the darkness rather than the light. So again, I encourage you to go ahead and read the sunrise. I'm sure you'll get even more increase or more encouragement for it. But I want Isabel to tell us what the sunrise really meant to her when she read it.
Well, when I heard it, the first thing that popped out to me is that light is so light.
Oh, wow.
And it can never stop being light.
That's true.
You know, and who we are as the lights. I was looking at, like, if we make a mistake, you know, if we ever choose to believe that some parts of us is dark. You know, if we ever fall into a trap, and the thing about it is that we can be so overwhelmed by that darkness that we see in ourselves, like, oh my gosh, and then we're going to condemnation, and you know, and then we disregard everything that God made us into. We disregard the fact that we are light, that we are sinless, that we are holy. You know, and we focus so much on the sin. We focus so much on that little, you know, that little mistake that we chose. You know, and it's not like it creeped up on us or it overcame us. But this encouragement to us is that we have power. And the power that we have is to choose righteousness all the time. And that's so much freedom. You know, that's so much freedom to know that I am able to choose light because I am light. I am the Word made flesh. I am the light that people are craving for. The people who are in sin, you know, the people who are lost, the people who are hopeless, the people who don't even know about the light. You know, they are gleaning towards us, and they want our light. You know, so don't ever be distracted by whatever may seem to cause us to want to dim our light, because that's impossible. You know, this darkness is a lie to us, and it's a lie to those around us in darkness. It's just a lie. You know, that's not how God created us to be. He wanted all of us to abide in the light, abide in love, abide in peace and righteousness.
And like you said, not only are we lights for ourselves, but we're lights for others. You know, we're not living a life for ourselves, not living a life just so that we can say that, oh, we're holy and we're going to make it. As we see darkness around us, light has a responsibility. Light isn't just lit and, as Jesus said, and just hidden and put under the bed, put under the candlestick, you know, you just hide it somewhere. Light is meant to be put in the darkest of places. That's when the light shines brightest, when it's darkest. So you may be in a situation, you may be at work, and nobody at work is saved. Nobody at work even considers Jesus. They get to play music and they choose the worst music to play. And instead of being frustrated by a situation like that, see it as an opportunity to shine as a light, because God knows why He deliberately put you in that situation. He knows why He put you in such a dark place, because He knows that your light would shine even brighter. You know, and another effect that we see with light is that when you combine light together, it gets brighter. So the fellowship with the saints, the fellowship with one another, just the camaraderie and the encouragement that we get from each other, you know, that should be even more of an effect in this world. And that's why it's kind of ludicrous to think that we can change this world on our own. You know, we need to pull on others, because we never know when we need somebody to encourage us. You know, sometimes I see like a light goes out and they use one candle to light another candle. You know, and that's the purpose of light, and that's the effect of light. The effect is that light adds to light and makes a brighter light. You know, so that's just awesome. You know, just to consider how God sees us in this world. I can imagine God just looking on at His candles, looking on at His lights, and say, just shine, just shine. Don't be discouraged, don't be dismayed, don't be distracted or intimidated by the darkness. There could be so much darkness, but you can realize that if, like, I live on a hill, and during a hurricane one year, there was extreme darkness, but some people had generators. So some people had lights, and no matter how far in the distance, miles and miles away, I could see that light from miles away, just because of the extreme darkness that I was in. And that was so vivid to me, that, you know, you may never even know how far your light is going. You may never understand how much of an effect the light that you have, the little light that you think you have. The song always says, let your little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And that's just our responsibility, that whatever we have to offer, whatever we have to give as light, as our own increase, let us give it. So the question I have for you all in the audience, for you all sunrisers, I want to ask you, what are some of the situations that you see God has placed you in that you can be a light? You know, we're not just given scriptures, and we're not just given these sunrises and these inspirations just to read it and and to, you know, say it was a good read or was a good discussion. Let's see how we can apply this to our own lives now. What are the situations, past or present, that you can see that you are given the responsibility to be a light? And like I said, the greater responsibility comes with the greater darkness. So I want to ask you guys to comment below this video, below this post, what are some of the situations that you see in your own lives that you see that you are being lights or you're called to be lights in this world? What about you, Isabel? What do you think?
Well, the only scenarios I can think about is school, but that's every day. But there was this one time in class that everybody was trying to cheat on the test.
Wow.
Yeah. and I just knew that was wrong, right? But the only responsibility I had was to just say no, right? And I can see where they were so caught up in getting the right answers, asking people what's the answer for this question, what's the answer for that. But they didn't like try to ask me, because somehow they saw me and they saw that I wasn't into it, and I was just not bothered by them, or I was not interested in, you know, cheating. But I really see that I believe that they were impacted by that. You know, even they didn't come to me and, you know, say it, but I saw them watching me. Because I said I was a Christian, I saw them watching me. And all I had to do was just to know what I'm supposed to do, know that I'm supposed to shine, and know that I'm supposed to stand out, and it's okay.
It is. It's very okay. I've looked forward to situations to stand out. My name is Daniel, and there's a Daniel in the Bible, and he stood out. He stood out in a whole nation to be the only one that prayed to God. You know, and God really favors those people. God really likes people that, regardless of what, they'll stand up for God. They'll stand up for what he said and his righteousness. It reminds me of the scripture that says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So all that means is that whatever righteousness you know to do, in whatever situation, whatever it is that you know that God is requiring, do that. And that is shining your light. Your light is shining when you're obeying God. Your light is shining when God is just able to just do anything through you. No matter what he requests of you, you do it. And the same light that Jesus is would be the same light that's shining through you as well. You know, and when they see those things, you're now evangelizing. You're now pulling people to God. Yeah, I think about so many people that we've evangelized to that we have no idea. We have no idea how the little actions that we did and somebody stood afar off and saw that, and that left a thought lingering in their minds. And eventually sometimes people will come and say, you know, your life really blesses me and I saw what you did, and you're like, what? You know, it's by letting your light shine. You may never know the reflections and the path your light will take into somebody else's life. So
keep obeying God.
Yes, and keep letting your light shine. And again, thanks Shanice for the awesome encouragement today with the sunrise. I encourage you again, please go and read the sunrise. In closing, today's sunrise is brought to you by BTBN. BTBN is Bible Teachers Broadcasting Network. It is a network pretty much chock full of stuff like this. Just people that believe in God, people that just have a passion to minister, a passion to just deliver people, to just speak the truth and just shine the lights in a very dark world. You know, there's so many choices of entertainment, so many different things going on media and social media. But this is a network that has committed themselves never to compromise, never to air things that they don't believe in, that defame the name of God. It's just a network that you can be assured that you're going to entertain purity, you're going to entertain truth. It's a network that I watch all the time, and I'm proud to have them as a sponsor for this show. I think they actually air this show in the mornings too. So I just want to encourage you to log on to BTBN. That's www.btbn.tv and click the live button and you'll see it live whenever, 24/7. It's also on the Roku. There's an app for it on the app stores and